Hey everybody, today I had an idea of showing you guys my knife collection as it stands. This is all of my knife collection as I started working in the knife business. So everything here is stolen from me. It's a funny way of putting it. I think I was pretty strong for the first year because I knew if I started out that way, then it would really hurt the business. So I waited an entire year before I took a knife home, and this was the first one I did. This is the MKM Magla 6, I believe is how you pronounce it. And I thought it was really cool, the idea of a Swiss Army style knife with a M390 blade just sounded really cool. Um, and it also has a three-pronged fork here, which is kind of neat. Um, but apparently none of my customers did. I got very little interest in this knife over the year that I had it, and so I took it home, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly ever since. I really love the flat ground M390 blade. Works super well. And then the other tool I found myself using the most is this cap lifter little flat tip, and I use this not just for flathead screws but for any sort of little prying tasks and other stuff you'd normally do to break the tip off of your knife. Which takes me to the second knife that I ended up ordering, and this one is different from all the other ones on this list because they all at least like sat in the store for a little bit and I pretended like I wasn't going to take them home. This one I strictly ordered for myself. This is the Lion Steel jackknife, and I think this has got to be one of the most slept on in the pocket knives ever because no pocket clip, but M390 blade, really nice clip point blade, really useful. And then it also has that second tool, so you get your pry tip and your bottle opener, which comes in super handy. And the nail nicks are a little bit deeper than the MKM knife. I really like how they do things in Lion Steel. I have not restocked either of these in the store just because there wasn't much interest in them when they're in the store, and maybe it's just my heart that's set on these and not my customers, and so at this time I can't really offer them in the store, but I really enjoy both of them. Next is the Police 4. I got this knife initially because I was looking into K390. I was watching Cedric and Ada's YouTube channel, and he really beats the drum for this K390, and I had to get my hands on it and see what it was all about. I really wanted it in the Stretch 2 because that was like hands down the most boring but hard-working knife that you could get this steel in. It was unavailable at the time, so I got the Police 4 and I put it in the store, and it's a large knife. The Police 4 is a really big Spyderco knife, and I think at the time it was about 180 bucks. It's probably more now, and when you have a really big knife at that price point, you got a really limited amount of customers. Once again, I've had the Stretch 2 in the store since then. I've had the Delicas and K390 in the store, and they sell pretty regularly. Check the store now. I should have some in there. The Police 4 I have not added back to the store just because, like I said, there was not really any interest in it. I ended up taking it home. I absolutely love it. K390 holds an edge like nobody's business, and there's a lot of K390 in this blade, so I've had it probably pushing 2 years now, and I've never sharpened the thing. It still just chugging right along. I've stropped it maybe once. It's been great. Next thing I took home from the store is, with our initial NAFS order, we got lots of Lander ones, black G10, blue G10, and this contoured green micarta with 14C28N, and this is the one that spoke to me out of all three of those. And we're a NAFS dealer. I didn't have a NAFS knife. I've been a Ben fan since he was Blade HQ, so I had to get my hands on one of these and see what it was all about. And I absolutely like it. I usually prefer a bigger knife. This one's just barely big enough for these paws, but it stood up to any task that I've put it up to, and it's just been an absolutely great knife. I love it. And so those are all ones that I've taken home. I've been in business the past 5 or 6 years. That's 4 knives. That's less than a knife a year. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. So why are there 8 knives on the table? Well, these are ones I feel like are legitimate business excuses, kind of. My wife tells me that they're all legitimate business excuses because, we have to carry the things that we carry, to be able to recommend to you, and give honest opinions. And so, first up in that category for me is the Spyderco Salt 2. I originally got this for my wife to replace her Dragonfly Salt 1 H1 steel knife. I got it to replace that, and for whatever reason, she hasn't really liked to carry it. So I ended up putting this in my pocket more often, and I wanted to see what LC200N is all about. It's a steel that was developed by NASA for ball bearings. Corrosion, super high corrosion resistant ball bearing steel, and then was adapted for blades. I just learned that that's how CPM 154, that's how that steel started, and 440C as well. So everybody knows ball bearing steels typically make pretty good knife steels, right? So high corrosion resistance, really holds a decent edge too, and yeah, if you've never tried LC200N, I definitely recommend it. I know I have some of these in the store as of filming the video. Next is my Microtech, my UTX 85, and I am grateful for Microtech. I think they make a great product. I don't recommend any other out the front knives. I'm just not a very big out the front knife guy, so I got this because I was a Microtech dealer for maybe 3 months, and every time a customer would come in the store and they'd look at Microtech, they'd look at me and go, "Oh, well, which one do you carry?" And I can't just keep telling people that I can't afford a Microtech, so I had to end up taking one home, and I took home this UTX 85. Been a good knife. I have used it. Just an EDC, it's a double-edged dagger, which some people would say is not that great for EDC, but you get twice as much edge, right? And it's really good at piercing. I do wish that I'd wait a little bit longer, so I could have gotten a single edge version, or like the LUDT, especially the Merlot one we have in the store right now. It is absolutely beautiful. Moving on, next knife. I got this twofold. This is a classic Sodbuster Jr. in chrome vanadium. So I got this one to see what these yellow handles were all about, because for some case collectors, the yellow handles are the only case knife that exists. If it doesn't have the yellow handles, then it's not a real case knife. And then chrome vanadium steel, case collectors feel the same way about that too, or particular ones. Everybody's different. So I got it to see what the chrome vanadium was all about, and I got it to see what the yellow synthetic is all about. I have to say, I'm still not a huge fan of the yellow synthetic. It is a functional handle, but for me, a case knife is more of an aesthetic than it is functional. And when you put the yellow handles on there, it kind of ruins it for me. Some people may argue that case knife is the best high performing knife that has ever existed. I'm not in that boat. I'm sorry if that offends you. There's just a lot better out there nowadays, so when I carry a case knife, I want it to at least be pretty, because I think that's what they're good at. And lastly, on the knives I've stolen from my store, this is an O-Knife Otical UI razor blade holder. I really like it because you get almost the entire length of the razor blade there to use, and it's got one of the crossbar style locks on it. It's got this little hand screw that makes it really easy to change the blade out without any tools. And deep carry pocket clip. I took this one because, one, this is the perfect loaner knife. Nobody can mess up your blade on this knife because you can just swap the blade out. And secondly, I love the product, but O-Knife or O-Lite really did not do me any favors on packaging this one. So it's just put in a hang package box with a picture on the front of it. So I had to open one up to be able to show customers. And so this is my designated loaner knife, and the one I show customers when they want to know what this thing is all about. And it's pretty cool. All right, next is the knife that I kind of picked out for myself for 2025. My wife Otter says I can't have one yet until we sell some more. But QSP, we became a dealer for them this year, and I don't have a QSP knife that I carry myself. I love the otter. I mean, yeah, I love the otter. I love the penguin. I love the canary and the parrot. They're all really awesome under $50 knives. And of course, the knife I picked out for myself is a little bit more. But I really love this hedgehog. This is kind of funny. We were talking about the case knife earlier. This is kind of everything I love about the case knife, but brought to modern. We have this really nice 14C28 hollow ground blade that's really going to give me the performance that I'm looking for. And the sculpted milling on this denim micarta, just absolutely beautiful. I really like this knife, really strong walk and talk. And I don't have any denim micarta. I'm a big, there's a lot of green micarta in my collection. In fact, even on the table, there's 3 green micarta knives right there. And there's a carbon fiber. This has a carbon fiber top on it, but this hedgehog has a shredded carbon fiber handle with red in it. And I think that's just absolutely beautiful. I really like it. It's a little bit more. Maybe we can sell some of these guys and I can end up taking one home sometime this year. But what do you guys think? Do I have a problem? Is there any help for me? Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys later.